am super excited about this interview because we are talking about a really interesting topic that as health coaches, sometimes we don't focus on enough because we are really focused on the food, but these are things that can also have a really big impact on your health. So thank you so much to my good friend and fellow health coach, Jill, who is going to talk to us today all about environmental toxins. So thanks for jumping on the interview with me.
Yeah, of course. I'm super excited to talk about this. And I feel like such a nerd because I'm like, yay, I get to talk about environmental toxins.
It's awesome. It's awesome because it's something that we don't, as I said, we're kind of focusing on our food and our exercise and all these other kind of aspects of our lifestyle impacting our health as well. So I'm excited to dive in. So what kind of made you get started thinking about environmental toxins, or when did this become apparent to you, or are you seeing, did you start to see it in your own life, these things? You started cleaning up these things?
Yeah, for sure. Well, one of my girlfriends worked or still works with the Honest Company. And so she was like, hey, I can get you half price for some products. And I was like, hell yeah, because I love a deal. So I got a bunch of cleaning products, and then I also got her book. And there was so much information in there. And it just literally launched me into like a nonstop like research on the internet. Like I wanted to take classes. I wanted to start looking at everything that was in all my products. And, it's like as health coaches, we want to be as healthy as possible and look at all different avenues. And I was like, oh my God, how did I not put two and two together that what we put on our skin, in our bodies, what we're breathing is just as important as, what we're eating. So I got into the habit of flipping over every single product that I use, which I know not everybody has to do this, but I switched out everything from toothpaste to lube to deodorant. Like everything that's going on me is going to be all natural. And there are great substitutions for everything. So don't be scared.
Yes. And I think it's funny how sometimes we don't make that correlation of what we put on our skin. It's interesting how many medications or things like nicotine patches. My grandmother recently had a hip operation, and she got some pain medication that was a patch on her skin. And so we are given these things because we know that they absorb straight into the bloodstream, but we don't put two and two together with some of the other things we put on our skin.
Yeah. And like people always say like, oh, it's just a tiny amount. Like how bad can it be? And I always do the piss theory. If there was a tiny bit of piss in your water, would you drink it? No, because it's contaminated the whole glass. And I always tell people, think about how small a Viagra pill is. And then we all know like the effect that it has for the length of time. That's a tiny pill. Birth control, teeny tiny pill that we take every day, and it prevents us from getting pregnant and whatever else. Like very, very small amounts have a huge impact and detrimental impact on our body. And like you were saying, like our skin is our largest organ, and it's our largest organ of detoxification, and it absorbs like 60% plus of everything that we put on it. So it really is like vitally important to make these switches because like you said, you could be eating super well and sleeping good and going to the gym. And then you're like, but man, like I'm still not feeling good, or I'm having headaches, or I developed cancer or a autoimmune disease. Like all of these things are linked to so many outside factors that we do have control over.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, so let's break it down and talk a little bit about what we mean. So what are these environmental toxins? What are people, what are people actually coming in contact with? And let's start with personal care products, because we kind of touched on things we're putting on our skin. So what kind of things do we mean by environmental toxins when it comes to personal care products? What kind of things should people look out for? What are some common ones?
Yeah, so there's a lot, but the four things that I think are really easy to focus on, SLS, which is sodium lauryl sulfate, parabens, which there's like 5 different parabens, but it's really easy to remember because it always ends in bin. So paraben, methylparaben, like it'll always end in a bin. Fragrance or anything that is perfumed, and propylene glycol, which is a petrochemical literally derived from oil. So it's disgusting. But those are the 4 that I always say to look out for, because if you look out for those 4, you'll pretty much wipe out all the other chemicals and toxins that will be in your products as well. Have you seen those, like when you turn over products when you're looking?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they are, that I guess was going to be my next question. What kind of products are they in? I mean, which, from what I've seen, they're in things like, sodium lauryl sulfate. Is that what makes it?
Sudsy.
Yeah. And that's in things like shampoos and conditioners and soaps.
Yeah, SLS is in a lot of stuff. It's also in a lot of cleaning products too. But it's what makes like your toothpaste super foamy, your shampoo and conditioner like really, really sudsy. So anything that has that sudsy effect typically has sodium lauryl sulfate. Now, a thing to keep in mind is sometimes they'll change sodium laureth to sodium laureth sulfate, which produces 1,4-dioxane, which is carcinogenic, cancer causing. So anytime you see like, oh, it doesn't have SLS, but it has sodium lauryl sulfate, like it's just as bad for you. So you want to have no form of SLS whatsoever in your product. And then studies have also shown, I'm a huge animal lover, that it has toxic effects on the aquatic life. So all of the fish, insects, crustaceans, like when it goes down our drain, you can hear my cat meowing in the background. I'm a huge animal lover. So I always try to be careful to make sure that whatever we put on our bodies that then goes down the drain into the oceans isn't going to kill, the aquatic life out there.
So what do you suggest? So let's talk about shampoo, conditioners, soaps, things like that. Are there some good brands, or can we find these in the grocery store?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's some really awesome brands out there. So Dr. Bronner's is one of my favorite like all-purpose cleaners for your body, your house, like your teeth, your dog. Like literally you can use this product on anything. It's Castile soap. Dr. Bronner's you can buy online. You can get it at like our Trader Joe's, at Whole Foods, at Sprouts, like online at Vitacost.com is one of my favorite places to shop because everything is seriously discounted and they always have a good deal. But anyway, so Dr. Bronner's is great and it's scented with essential oils. That's a really easy way to replace, like these perfumed ingredients. Nature's Gate, Cure Organics has awesome shampoo and conditioner. That's what I primarily use because it's my favorite. Davita skincare is amazing. They have some of the best face cream and night cream and the best sunblock. I will definitely vouch that Davita has the best face sunblock and body sunblock. We can get into sunblock stuff later, but pretty much oxybenzone is one of the worst things that we can put on our bodies, and mineral sunblock, which is what Davita is and some of these other products. It rests on your skin. It's not fully absorbed into it. So when it rests on your skin, it blocks out both UVA and UVB rays. And then let me go back though to some of the other good companies out there. I love Beauty Counter. I'm a consultant for Beauty Counter. I would have never thought I would have sold a product, but I truly believe in it. They're super transparent. They show every single ingredient that's in the product and tells you what it is and why it's in there. And then they are also lobbying in Washington to get this crap out of our products. So I think that's really great.
Yeah, for sure. And do they have makeup? So is makeup, what about makeup? Are these kind of chemicals in makeup? What about makeup?
Yeah. So makeup is, it's just as scary. So makeup sometimes has parabens in it, and parabens are a class of chemicals. It's a preservative that's in most of them. It's found a lot more in liquid products. So like liquid foundation, in mascara, and all of these things like we're putting on our face. Like women use a lot more products than men do, but I mean, men still need to be cautious of what they're putting on their skin. But like in our lipsticks, there's a lot of different like, Red 5 and all these artificial colors, and then it sinks into our lips. And then also think about how many times a day do we lick our lips? And then we're like eating all of this stuff. But like mascara and eyeliner and eyeshadow, it's right next to your eye and it can be super damaging. So Beauty Counter, Juice Beauty, The Honest Company, 100% pure. There's really great brands out there that are super clean. And then the other thing for me that's important is that it's not tested on animals. They'll test a lot of these products on primarily bunnies. Like you'll see the leaping bunny, it'll say cruelty free, or the leaping bunny indicates that nothing is tested on animals, because they'll put it like on their eyes, then they'll have like super bad reactions to it. And products don't need to be tested on animals.
No, sure. That's another super important thing. Okay, so really checking out some of these brands and just looking for kind of the ingredients that you've talked about, and choosing brands that use more organic ingredients, more natural ingredients, and being careful, being more aware as well just of what you're putting on your skin.
Yeah, and always turning over like the products before you purchase them. It's like usually like the first couple ingredients, it'll tell you like water, and then it'll say, sodium lauryl sulfate, some sort of a paraben, fragrance. And if the fragrance doesn't say like, made from essential oils, then the thing with fragrance is that can be, it's trade secret. So they don't have to disclose what's in it. And fragrance can be made up of I'm getting crazy here. Hundreds of ingredients to make it up. And that's like, you know, it's like you'll smell like people's hair like still smells. That's phthalates. So phthalates is a big word, but anytime that you still smell something like on your skin or like what you wash your clothing with, you don't want to use any of that stuff. It disrupts our endocrine system, which is like, I feel like people don't realize that endocrine is all of the systems within your body. It's your mind, it's how fast your metabolism runs. It can cause birth defects. So fragrances and all types of things, nail polish, hairspray. Nail polish is a huge thing too for women. That's another thing I always say, try not to go to the nail salon, like learn to paint your own nails and buy good nail polish. I just learned of a new company called Nail and Bone, and they donate 20% of their proceeds to shelter dogs. And they also are free of the top 8 chemicals, which many of them are carcinogenic.
No, for sure. Okay, there's some really good tips. What about if we move, you kind of mentioned cleaning products. What do they put in cleaning products, or what are some things we should be aware of when it comes to cleaning products?
Yeah, one other thing really quick before going into cleaning products, I just wanted to share a resource with your viewers. So EWG, Environmental Working Group, so ewg.org/skin deep. They rate a number of products on there. Like, I'll also use that as a reference for myself because I know a good amount of these words, but there's some that still I'm like, I don't know what that means, or I want to make sure I know what it means. So if you type in, say you wanted to buy, I don't know, like Oil of Olay body wash, and it would pull up Oil of Olay and it would say like, oh, this actually rates, and it rates it from, is it 1 to 10? Yeah, 1 or maybe 1 to 5. But 1 is great because that means that it doesn't have anything bad in it. And then a 5 will indicate that, there's sodium lauryl sulfate or fragrance, but it'll tell you exactly why. So it's a great learning resource because then you'll see like, oh, okay, it has phthalates in it. That's linked to this. This is what it'll do to me. And then it also has a whole list of like, here's a better option for you.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to use that research.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize
I love it.
Yeah, that was there. Because there are so many products and it can get really confusing.
Yeah. It definitely does, because sometimes like with the cleaning products, there's a lot of brands that I love, but sometimes they don't, like, not every single ingredient or product in the product line is safe. Like maybe I'll love the like floor cleaner, but then the window cleaner has something in it. So I just always say like, you can't trust, like you got to just do your research, because at the end of the day, like this is your life and it makes a difference, like what products you use.
Yes, and I found that especially with cleaning products and then washing detergents, there's a brand that had a really good washing detergent, and then when I looked at their cleaning products, I actually I did what I guess we're recommending not to do. Because I love the brand with some other products, I just bought one of their cleaning products. And when I got it home, I realized, I started looking through the ingredients and realized that, it wasn't actually as good as some other brands that would be for that cleaning product. Even though it's a great option for something else. So definitely, you have to turn the label over with every product. And as you kind of said, that sounds like a lot, but after you do it, it starts off, you have to do it every time. But then you've got your go-to, once you've got a good, you've got your good cleaning product, you've already, that's safe, it's got some great ingredients, works really well for you, then that's something you can just go back and buy over and over. You don't need to keep looking again. So, work up front, but then you start to get in the groove and you start to know what works for you and what products you can buy in your local store and your local area.
Yeah. And also, if there's something that's not in your local store, or if there's a product that you found online that you love, like, we are so blessed to live in a world where at our fingertips, like, we can order something Amazon Prime, like anything can be delivered, or and we can make stuff. Like, it's so much easier to like make stuff nowadays too, with all of the recipes that are available online. Wellness Mama has some really great stuff. chriscar.com, she has really great recipes. Even like doTERRA, or there's some other essential oil company, but anyways, any of those will have like really great recipes, doing like water and vinegar, like grandma style, like back in the day, like that's what they used to clean with.
Yeah. No, you're so right. And there is a lot of stuff that we can make. I have to admit, I don't make a lot of my own cleaning products myself, but it's definitely something that we can do, and I'd love to learn more about it. I need to do some more research on that myself, actually. Do you make any of your own things like that?
I'll be honest, I make very few myself. I have a handful of essential oils that I put in a diffuser, because the other thing too is like, you don't want to have candles. You don't want to have like the Glade plugins. volatile organic compounds, VOCs, are emitted into the air, and that can affect pregnancy, headaches, like respiration, all types of stuff. So those unnatural fragrance makers are things that you want to eliminate. So I bought a diffuser for like $30 online, an awesome one, and a couple different essential oils. Even the I don't know if you guys have Marshalls, but it's like a discount store, and I've bought like $5 essential oils to using doTERRA ones because my friend sells it. And the oils smell so good, and they have so many different like beneficial properties to them. So some of those you can use for cleaning. Like there's one that I'll put into my laundry detergent because I use the Whole Foods 365 non-scented brand. It's like super clean. There's another company, Molly Suds, that also is really great. But yeah, like making sure that your laundry detergent, and oftentimes, like if you're using All or Tide or any of those, I guarantee there's a lot of crap in them. But yeah, I'll put essential oils in that. I honestly have found so many great companies that I like their cleaning products that I'm so busy, and I've
Yeah.
What's that?
Happy to support them to make it, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think if it's your thing and it's fun for you, by all means, go make your products. If it's not and you're like super busy, all you got to do is just replace it, and that's it. Like then you're done.
Yeah. So around the home, you were kind of talking about VOCs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other things we should watch out for around the home? I mean, I love diffusers and essential oils as well.
Mm-hmm.
Totally with the things like Glade or any kind of scented things around your house. But what are some other things that we should? Is there anything else that we should?
So this sounds pretty obvious, but clean your house. Like doing dusting and vacuuming and removing like dust mites and all of the other stuff that collects into, you know, like bacteria, like poop. Like we bring so much stuff in from our shoes, from the outside world in, like just general light dusting and cleaning in your house, vacuuming, sweeping, keeping stuff just sanitary and good hygiene, like really makes a difference.
Yeah, no, great tips. For sure. Awesome. Okay, so that's kind of in the home. While we're still in the home, actually, something we were talking about just before this interview, what about EMF? What do you think?
Yeah,
EMF, is that something that we need to be worried about? Are there some simple things that we can do to reduce our risk of?
So EMFs, if people don't know what EMFs are, which totally understandable, I feel like we're dorking out on what they are, electromagnetic frequencies. So anything that emits power, radiation, energy. So like our computer that we're on right now, smartphones, any type of tablet, iPod, anything that has to be like plugged in or used with Wi-Fi that's generated for something, your microwave, like all of those things emit energy out. And it sounds contradictive, but it sends out positive ions. And you want to use like when we were talking about running the essential oils in a diffuser, like that sends out negative ions. So then it can capture the positive ones and make your air like good and clean. Salt rocks also do that. So with EMFs, like I have a salt rock in my room here to cleanse the air. It's supposed to make you creative and feel good and all of these like woo-woo things, but I think they work.
Yeah.
But with EMFs, you never want to take, we were talking about this before, like your bedroom is supposed to be used for sleeping and sex. You're not supposed to read. You're not supposed to be on the computer. You're not supposed to watch TV, like no work. But Kara and I were just saying that we both love being in our bed and doing work. You know, I was like, every time I'm in bed, like I don't want to just sleep and I don't want to have sex every time I'm in bed. Like I love doing work in bed. So if you're going to like have it be, you know, a treat to like do your work in bed, but otherwise try to leave your phone on airplane mode, leave your computer, your tablet, like anything else that doesn't need to be in your room, take it out of your room. When you're like done with your Wi-Fi, turn off your Wi-Fi, unplug your router. If you microwave something, which I wouldn't recommend, but if you do microwave food, like get the hell out of the way. You don't want to be in the zone of that. Don't use the Bluetooth headset. Use the ones that just plug in. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, we were talking about this too. Do not put your phone in your bra right next to your precious little boobs, and don't put it on top of your crotch either.
Yeah. Even using speakerphone when you can. You know,
yeah.
Especially if you're going to do a really long call, just having that phone so close to your ear, you know, for an extended time. You know, if you can try and use speakerphone, or use the headphones, but not the not the Bluetooth headphones, because that again is so close to your head. So just trying to do some of those things to reduce your exposure. And you get really used to it. I always turn my phone off airplane when I go to bed. I turn the Wi-Fi off. It doesn't, it's, you know, it's quite quick, it's easy. You can still use it as an alarm clock then, just have it on airplane, Wi-Fi off.
Mm-hmm.
And then at least over that nighttime period, you're not exposing yourself as much.
Yeah, and it's nice because when you wake up in the morning, most of us have our alarms on our cell phone. Like you don't immediately get inundated with what text messages came in or emails, because it's like one of those things that us health coaches always say is don't start your day looking at your phone. Like give it 5, 10, 30 minutes, depending on what you can, to like get up, start your day, think about your dreams, go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, and then check your phone. Because the second you do, you're like in someone else's world with what everybody else wants.
Yes, and that could be a whole nother conversation.
I know, like digital detox.
Yes, and we're so addicted these days, and me too.
Oh my God, for sure.
I find it hard. I have to actually force myself to take these times away from technology, and I'm really strict in the morning. I don't turn it on right away because otherwise I immediately get sucked in. I find I turn it off, or I very quickly that's how I start my morning. So definitely some important ones there. Okay, so what about outside of the home? Are there any other things in terms of environmental toxins that we might be being exposed to that we could, I mean, obviously kind of in our world, there are all these different environmental toxins that we are being exposed to, but I guess I like to concentrate on the ones that we can, maybe we can do something about, because there are some things that you can't do anything about, and then keeping yourself healthy and happy, keeping your liver strong, detoxing all those chemicals is kind of all you could do with some of the things that we're surrounded with. But what are there some things at the home that we can do some things about, or that we can be aware of?
Yeah, for sure. So I studied with Laura Adler. That's who I took a bunch of courses from about environmental toxins. And her catchphrase is change the things you can, so the things that you can't aren't that big of a deal, something like that. But the gist of it, I love, because there's a lot of things like, I was going to say traffic, but that's a whole other thing that's annoying. The off-gassing of cars, like things that are emitted from like all of the poles. Like there's a lot of things that we can't change, but yes, there's a ton of stuff that we can. So I always say minimize plastic. So BPA, I feel like is such a big buzzword right now, bisphenol A, and that is the plastic that is in like not just like cups and Tupperware and all of that, but it's also in our shower curtains, in babies' toys, in bottles. Like it's in a ton of stuff, in our straws. But BPA, it's a synthetic estrogen, and it blocks or it mimics natural estrogen in our bodies, and exposure to it is linked to so many things. So heart disease, diabetes, insulin resistance, weight gain, obesity. It's a huge reason why a lot of us can't lose weight, because so many of our products are stored in like plastic water bottles, in plastic Tupperware. Like everything is wrapped in plastic. Anytime you're buying something that is, like, I don't know, like not a candy bar, because we shouldn't be eating candy bars, but like granola bars and protein bars, like all of that stuff is wrapped in wrappers. So it's just like a lot of exposure. And also it's linked to infertility. Infertility is like, it's increased so much over the years, and we wonder why. And it's, part of it is plastic, part of it is like the products that we were talking about for skincare and makeup. Like a lot of those things contain that. So especially for women, and that's why I got involved with Beauty Counter, was because I was like, I just want to share this information so that people are cognizant about what they're putting on and in their body, what they're inhaling, because it truly does make a huge difference on your life and your lifestyle.
Yeah, and it's also really great for the environment to switch out these products.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Things like Glad Wrap or Cling Wrap. We just recently bought a whole bunch of beeswax wraps. And now
cool.
Like if we're taking wraps to work during the day, you can put, if you've got half an avocado, if you've got anything that you used to use, any kind of plastic wrap, I mean, you can put those in containers as well, but especially to take it to work, beeswax wraps are really cool because they hold it all together nicely, easy to take with you. Yeah, using glass containers are all also reduces waste, which is so much better for the environment.
Yeah, and it was disturbing because I found out that like even our plastic water bottles, like a good majority of them just don't get decomposed, and it takes so long for it. And then it's creating dead zones in the world, where it's dead zone because literally like life can't sustain itself there. And then they end up in the ocean again. And like, it's so sad because I watched a talk and they showed a picture of a fish with like a straw going through its eye. Like all of these things are so detrimental for the aquatic system. So I think about that also. But again, super easy switch. Glass straws or stainless steel straws, and it comes with like this little like a pipe cleaner, so it can clean out the inside of your straw. And that's amazing. Like we switched out. I used to make protein shakes and put them in a red Solo cup cup with plastic wrap, and my girlfriend came over and was like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, what? Like I hadn't, sometimes like we don't think about these things until somebody else points it out. And the thing is, like, you don't know until you know, but then once you know, and then pass along the information. So I bought on Amazon 2 big 16-ounce stainless steel cups with straws in it. So we make our protein shake in it every day. So it's like every single day, you know, what is that? So 5 days a week. I'm not good with math. 20 days a week, we're not using anything plastic. And it's better for myself of like, what am I putting in it? Also, I was going to say, like, mason jars or using anything recyclable. Like if I were to buy something that came like a glass jar, and I don't know, say you bought like pickles and it came in a glass jar, then I'd rinse it out, run it through the dishwasher, take off the label, and then you have a cute little glass jar to put your other stuff in.
Totally. And great to use to store things in the fridge. You know, store things,
yeah,
use them for things. I like to use the little jars to make my salad dressings and check if I'm going to use those the next day. Definitely. I mean, I think the more we start to reuse things, it's good for our health, good for the environment, and good saves us money too. If we can buy something that lasts longer and you know, is better for all these things as well, it can definitely save us money.
Yeah, and I want to say that I don't want to scare people with BPA because it is one of the toxins that doesn't build up in your body. Within like 2 to 3 days, it can clear by removing your exposure to it. And like Karen and I are talking about, by just using stainless steel or glass, or, you know, like minimizing the amount of times that you're using this stuff, like within a couple days, you can remove it out of your body. And the same thing with pesticides, like making sure that you're eating organic foods. Like if you just go a couple days with eating just organic, about 90% of the pesticides, herbicides, fungicides are all removed out of your body. So these things are reversible. It literally can, you know, within like 3 days to a week, you can make a huge difference by just getting this crap like out of your products.
And your body's amazing like that, isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's never too late. It really is. And also, these things really add up in your body. It's kind of almost like, so even if you start small and just start by doing a couple of the changes we've talked about, start with one, and start by, you know, next time your shampoo does run out, then start looking at another brand. You know, making these kind of small changes that over time really start to add up, where you get to the stage where all your products are swapped out. I mean, if you want to go and replace everything, great, but I think doing these small steps that feel really sustainable can definitely have, have an impact long term.
Yeah. Another thing in the kitchen is, what are you cooking your food on? Yeah. So yeah, I have to mention Nonstick Cookware is the one thing I would say, throw it out now. Like, don't wait till like it gets scratched. So Nonstick Cookware, a lot of times people just think Teflon, that is a company, but Teflon, the problem with it is it's perfluorooctanoic acid. So PFOAs is how, like, you'll probably hear of it. But anyways, the problem is that it's only supposed to be heated to a very low level. Anything over low is going to emit these say that 10 times, perfluorinated chemicals. So the problem with it is it goes up into the air, into the environment, and it stays. It doesn't decompose. It stays in your body. It stays in the environment. And so this is one of those products that I would say absolutely remove it out of your house. You don't want to cook your food on it. And if it does have any sort of scratch in the skillet, then it absorbs into your food. And now you're actually digesting it and it's getting into your body even further. There's a phrase called canary in a coal mine. So anytime like somebody goes to buy a bird at like any type of bird store, they'll tell you like, you cannot have a nonstick pan, because once you light that pan up, it will emit these chemicals and it literally kills your bird like that, because they have such sensitive little lungs.
Wow, isn't that amazing? I didn't know that about that bird, but yeah, for sure. And because they're all scratched, really, it's so hard to have.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not always going to be using, you know, like wood or something that doesn't scratch it. But again, super easy. You can get like cast iron skillets, get them really cheap, like 15, 20 bucks. And cast iron skillets, again, it's like iron going into your food is an amazing thing that you would want. And like the beauty of it is you're not supposed to wash them. Like they absorb like whatever it is that you cooked on it, you know, like oil and garlic and whatever it is. So once you cook your food, you just take a paper towel, wipe it out, throw it back in the oven, and the heat just cooks off whatever, you know, like little products were left on there, or food particles. And then you put a little coconut oil, little avocado oil, something that can withstand high heat, put it back in the oven, and it cooks everything off and then ready to go for the next time. So I'm a huge fan of cast iron skillets, all clad. Cuisinart La Crusette is amazing. It's a little expensive, but it will literally last you forever and it won't contaminate your food.
I think that's the thing. These products do tend to last a lot longer. I find with the
Yeah.
non-stick pans, you end up buying them more often because they do scratch. They do tend to be of a lower quality. They tend to be the cheaper ones. And so then you're replacing them more often. If you could buy the high quality one that lasts, yeah, you can literally use them forever.
Yeah, we let me think. My husband and I got married almost 7 years ago, and we've had our like La Crusette was something that we registered for, and it is in just as good of shape, and we cook all the damn time, and it has lasted us, and it looks great. We have cast iron skillets. Yeah, we just literally like maybe a couple like within this last year got rid of our nonstick. He was very bummed about it, and I was like, well,
yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Okay, well that is a bunch of different things that people can start to be more aware of and start thinking about. Was there any last things before we wrap up today that you kind of want everybody to know or be aware of?
That choice, what you put on your body within our homes. I think it's super important to be in control of everything. Because like we were saying, there's a lot of stuff that's out of our control, but there's a ton of stuff that's in your control. So if there are products that aren't super expensive that you can replace immediately, like your cleaning products, I truly would say like switch those out now, because you could toss everything and make sure you dispose of it correctly, because it is like toxic, dangerous chemicals. Like with your household cleaners, it's a lot of them have carcinogenic properties, endocrine disruptors, neurotoxins, all of the stuff that's so bad for us and like drastically affects your quality of life. And, for $30, $40, you could replace everything. And we only need a couple cleaners. So I would highly recommend that shampoo, conditioner, body wash, the things that we use every single day. I would really recommend to replace those. Like the Cure shampoo and conditioner that I mentioned that I use, I think it's literally $7 a bottle. Like it's not expensive. Dr. Bronner's is like maybe $10 and it will last you forever. You could use it for everything. The other thing I want to say, toothpaste. I love toothpaste and I've tried so many different toothpaste. Dr. Bronner's has one of the best, Jason. And then there's a company called David's. I think you can pretty much only buy it online. It's only in a few stores. It's like the most amazing. And then especially women, but it's important for men, change your deodorant, because deodorant has aluminum in it. And for women, like we're putting it so close to our lymph nodes, and there's like 4 quadrants in your armpit, and the closest one is linked, like directly to your breast, and causes breast cancer. So that's like a super important thing I want to pass along to the ladies. But aluminum is linked to Alzheimer's. I'm like, what is it? I can't remember. Linked to Alzheimer's, endocrine disruption. And it's just such an easy thing to swap out. I use native deodorant. I love it. There's some other really great deodorants. Try what works for you. You will sweat, but you want to sweat. Like if you're blocking your sweat glands, you're not detoxing. Like that's one of the ways that we detox. But I would say don't get overwhelmed. Like, if you want to reach out to me, my email is jill@jilllawrencehealth.com. I'm always happy to talk about toxins and things that I love. I've tried a lot of different products. And then ewg.org/skin deep is a phenomenal resource.
Yes.
Yeah, just start to notice like when you smell stuff that smells really strong, like flip it over and see like, oh, this has fragrance in it. That's one of the things I would absolutely switch out. If it has sodium lauryl sulfate, switch it out for sure. Because sodium lauryl sulfate is one of those products that enhances the absorption of other products. So I would definitely like start turning over your products and checking them out.
Yes, and I think that's always key, isn't it? Start turning them over and at least being aware of what actually is in the products that you're buying. And for sure, if you switch them over and there's some ingredients there and you're not sure, are these ones okay? Feel free to get in touch with either of us and we can help you out, because sometimes it can be confusing, but really having that awareness around what you're buying now and then what you can maybe change it out to is really the first step. So this is awesome. I have loved chatting about this topic. You've shared some great information. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for having me on. And then one last thing, I realized I talked so much about household cleaners, but I didn't give any recommendations. Some of the ones that I use, Ecover, Earth Friendly Naturals, again, Dr. Bronner's, The Honest Company has really great stuff. So check out those companies. They're primarily the ones that I've stocked myself up with. But I just wanted to leave you guys with something so you weren't like, well, what the hell do I switch to?
Yeah, no, those ones are great. And where can people find out more about you? Where do you live online?
Thank you. So I'm at jilllawrencehealth.com. On Instagram, it's at jill.annenberg.lawrence, Anenberg. And then Twitter is at Jill Annenberg.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And good luck to all you guys. It'll be a fun journey, I promise. Once you get started and you get into the habit, it's like anything. It just becomes a rhythm and it's super fun, and share it with other people. Pass along the knowledge.